All right, we're going to get started. I do want to get in the habit of starting on time. If you do not have your video on, I need you to turn your video on so I can see you. And when we start class this morning, I have some very, very important announcements to make. So you're going to need a piece of paper and something to write with, preferably a pencil, and make sure that you pay close attention to what I'm saying at the beginning of class. All right, good morning. We're going to get started here. I do have some announcements that are critical, and I need you to write them down because we're running out of time here. And I'll be honest with you, I am nervous and scared for you if you do not follow what I'm going to be saying right now. All right. Okay, first of all, I'm taking attendance 5 minutes before class starts. Make sure you're honest because I can see how long you're in the class. So with WebEx, it monitors what you're doing and I can see you. So you want to make sure that you're being honest about being in class. I can tell how many minutes you're there and I know if you're there or not. Also, the class meetings, these meetings are not optional. They are absolutely required, just like you would be coming to school. So I know it's a really crazy atmosphere and it seems like you're at home, so it's easy to not think you're in school, but you're in school and you are required to come to class. So these are not optional, even though I'm recording the meetings, unless you have an extenuating circumstance or an emergency, you must come to these meetings. If you want to watch the video later on because you want to see it again, or if there is an extenuating circumstance that you spoke to me about, then you're welcome to watch the recording later. But you cannot just be absent. Those things are going to have to go through me, just like you were at school. All right, another important message. I still have a bunch of students that are not on Remind. You're going to be missing my messages. So if you don't have the Remind app, you're going to miss important things that I'm saying. Make sure you email me if you are not able to get the Remind app or if you need it. But you need the Remind app. Okay, and last but not least, this is the most important thing and you need to listen to me carefully. You have to have an online access code for this class. So if you have the book, great. You need I need whoever has their microphone on to turn it off. You need the online access code. If you don't have it, you're not going to be able to take exams. And you only have 2 days to get it. If you don't get it in the next 2 days, don't ask me. I don't know what to do. Everybody's at home. There's nobody at school. I provided time for you to get these access codes. So I'm going to go over this again. I'm going to go over it 2 or 3 more times in this lesson. You have August 10th, 11th, and 12th from 7 a.m. to 9. So if you don't have a ride, get your neighbor to take you. If you don't have a ride, find an aunt, uncle, grandmother, or you're going to have to walk to school and get it. I don't know what else to tell you because after these days, and the 10th's already gone, it's only the 11th and 12th now. If you do not get these, you will not be able to take an exam next week. So I'm just letting you know, you have to have these online codes. This is what it looks like. You see how long that code is right here? I can't email them. They're 31 digits, letters long. I can't email them to you and I don't even have them. You must go to school and get this online access code. I hope I'm making myself perfectly clear. So let me give you this. Only 12 of my 43 pre-cal students have picked this up. So I'll say it again. Only 12 of my pre-cal students have picked this up. That means that there's 43 students, or no, I didn't figure out that number. There's 60 left. 12 have picked them up. There's a whole slew of students that haven't picked them up. You must pick them up. Okay, if there's some type of problem, You need to email me as soon as possible because after these 2 days, you won't be able to get it. And you're not, ask me and I'm not going to know what to tell you. So you need those online access codes. You must have them. 60% of your grade is based on exams and you will not be able to take an exam if you don't have them. You must get them tomorrow or the next day from 7 to 9 only at the Rancho bus stop. Anybody have any questions about that? Okay, well, hopefully you have a book, a physical book. You have a Chromebook or device that's working. You have internet and Wi-Fi. You have the TI-83 calculators, and you have the online account codes. If you do not have these items, you need to email me as soon as possible. Now, let's say that your Wi-Fi isn't good. The district is providing hotspots, okay? Let me know. If your laptop doesn't work, let me know. The district is supplying all these resources. You must have these resources, okay? So let's say you're living out in the desert somewhere in the dirt. The district is going to provide everything for you. You have to let me know, though. I'm not a psychic. I can't read your mind of what's going on. So you must let me know. So I'll repeat that again. You're going to email me as soon as possible if you can't get or don't have a physical book, a Chromebook or working device, internet or Wi-Fi, the TI-83 calculator. See, I have calculators in my room. If they run out of calculators, I can give you one of mine, but you got to let me know as soon as possible. And you have to get the online accounts. If you do not go to the school the next 2 days between 7 and 9 and get those online accounts, you will not be able to take an exam that I'm going to be giving next week. So, and don't ask me what to do because I don't know what to do if you don't go the next couple days. All right, enough of that. All right, so last time we talked, I talked about these fish and putting your nickname or name and drawing and describing yourself to me. Please send these to me so I can get to know you and what you're all about. I also talked about the syllabus, and I specifically talked about weekly meetings. I talked about materials that you have to have for this class. I talked about student expectations and teacher expectations. And I also talked about the notebook that has to be a 3-ring binder. And I talked about how to do the assignments. If you do not do the assignments the way I want, I won't take them. So I'm just letting you know that you must do the assignments the way I'm requiring. If you weren't here or you were playing Xbox, you need to watch that video from last week. Okay, the assignments have to be done the way I'm requiring them. All right, let me talk about the syllabus first. If I can find it. All right, so I'm going to go down to the book. So right here, let me share my screen with you. Hold on just a second. I'm sorry, forgot about this. Hold on a minute. Forgot to share my screen. Okay, now I'm going to open this up as soon as this thing goes away. Okay, here we go. Can you guys see my screen? Can you give me a thumbs up, please, if you can see my screen? Or nod your head? Thank you. All right, you should have a physical textbook. If you get your online account, you'll also have an online interactive book, which is going to be important. It's also going to be important because there's problems on there that look like the exams. So you need that online account. I went over assignments, but I'm going to talk more about them. The assignments you're going to have are both in the book and online. Okay, I'll say that again. They're both in the book and online. You must complete the assignments in a specific format that I gave last week. And this is the most important thing. You will not be turning in your assignments. You will not be taking pictures and turning them in. Okay, I put an assignment in the classroom today. What you're turning in is a percentage. All right, so I'm going to show you how to do this in a minute. Okay, if you fail to turn in an assignment percentage by the due date, you will not receive credit. I'm not taking any late work. Okay, since there's only 3 virtual classes per week, expect the assignments to be more comprehensive and interactive. Completing assignments, grading papers, making corrections, and giving legitimate grade percentages is essential and the responsibility of the students. These things are necessary to perform at a high level. Perfect practice and personal accountability is necessary in preparing for and excelling on exams. As a result, you'll get a high grade in the course. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing now and show you my boards. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. Are not going to be turning in the actual assignments. You are not taking pictures of the assignment and turning it in. This is what you're doing. If you saw the assignment that I posted this morning, I posted the first assignment. There are 30 problems on the first sheet of a review, and there's 24 problems. This is called review 1. This is the assignment. There are 54 total problems. Let's say that you attempted 50. Now, I did not say get 50 right. I don't care how many you get right. I want to know how many you attempted. Did you attempt 50? Did you attempt 54? However many you attempted. So it's what you attempted out of the total. Now this number is going to change. Sometimes I'll give 100 problems. And sometimes I'll give 60 problems. So it's going to change. Now I want to show you how to do a percentage because you should know how to have done this from 7th grade, but I'm not assuming you know anything. So on the calculator, you don't need the graphing calculator right now, but if you turn it on, you're going to take 50 divided by 54. And I'm going to show you what I'm getting on my calculator. I'm getting approximately 0.9259. What you're going to do, you see this right here? You're either going to give me 92% or you're going to give me 93%. So this number right here, if that number is 5 or greater, you're going to round up. If that number is 4, 3, 2, 1, or 0, you're going to leave it as 92%. We're going to do a few of these. So write it down. Make sure you know how to do this. So in the assignment that I posted today, you're going to click on assignment percentage, and this is what you're going to submit. Do not submit the assignment. Okay, with this distance learning, it's like a college class. I don't have the time to look at 1 million problems. I have 180 students. So you're just going to submit the assignment percentage. All right, I'm going to erase this and do another one. Is that okay? You guys got this written down? Okay, I'm going to erase this whole thing. Okay, here's another example. Let's say you attempt 83 out of 100 problems. 100. So this is what you attempted out of 100 possible problems. Oh, that's too easy. Let me do another one. That's too easy. That's 83%. Okay, let's do this one. Let's say you do 35 out of 80 problems. So you attempted to do 35 out of 80. So you take 35 divided by 80, and when you hit enter, you get this. It's approximately 0.4375. So if this number is less than 5, you have a 43%. If this number is 5 or greater, you round up to 44%. Okay, would anyone like me to work another example of this? Okay. Last call. Does anybody want me to work another example?
Just one more time, please.
Yeah, sure. Let me see if I can, hold on just a second. No. Trying to get a better problem here. Hold on just a second. Okay, this is a good one. Okay, let's say you did 24 problems and I assigned 52. To get the assignment percentage that you're going to submit, remember, you're not submitting the work. You're just submitting what you did. You're going to take 24 divided by 52, and that's about 0.4615. So what you do is you look at this number right here, and it's not 5 or greater, so you just leave it at 46%. So remember, this is not how many you get right, it's how many you attempted. So you should shoot for 100% all the time. Now, the reason why I'm not worried about this is only 20% of your grade. So I'm not worried about this. So if you want to cheat, go ahead. You won't be able to pass the test. But I'm not worried about this at all. So this is really for you to hold yourself accountable. This really doesn't affect the grade at all. This is like a college class. So make sure that you're attempting to do all the work. This should always be 52 out of 52, 100 out of 100, 60 out of 60. You should always attempt to complete the assignment. Why? Because you want to be able to perform on the exams. Okay. So I talked about the assignments. I'm still talking about the syllabus. So let's go back to the syllabus. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, here we go. So we talked about the assignments and we're on the notebook. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I did this last week. Students are required to have a 3-ring binder. It can be 5-subject or separate notebook. The math notebook must be in the format specified by the teacher. I did that last week. Section dividers must separate each section. I went through that last week. And students are expected to bring your notebook at every class meeting. So you should have your notebook together and you should have it with you at this moment. If we were at school and you didn't have your notebook, you would get a detention for not having materials. So I'm just letting you know, you have to have your notebook. It is a required material. Okay, as far as exams and quizzes go, I'm just letting you know, I give a lot of exams. And the reason why is I don't wait to finish the chapter with a million problems. I'm giving you small exams so you can handle them. Okay, so instead of giving, a chapter with 9 sections, I'm giving you each section. So that's why I need you to get these account codes, because I'm going to start assigning things, and you're going to have exams, and you have to be able to take them online. If you don't have that account code, if you don't go to the school and pick up that account code tomorrow or the next day from 7 to 9, you won't be able to take the first exam. And then you're going to ask me what to do. And I'm going to say, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. I've been talking about this for over a week now. So make sure you get that. Okay, the final, I don't know what they're going to do about the final, but see, notice this box right here. See how assignments are 20% and exams are 60%? So this is why I don't worry about the assignments. You must do the assignments. If you don't do the assignments, you can't get 60% of your grade, which is the exam. So make sure you're holding yourself accountable, that you are legitimately coming to meetings, that you are legitimately doing the assignments, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to pass the exams. Okay, you can look at all this. I'm not going to go through it. We already talked about class meetings, but I'll talk, you can look at it here. You are required to attend the class meetings via WebEx. What you want to do is go to WebEx through, you want to go to the class meetings via WebEx in Google Classroom. Recorded lessons can be reviewed on Roxanne Birch's YouTube channel. Notice what it says: by any student who could not attend the scheduled class meeting due to an extenuating circumstance, illness, or would like to see the lesson again. If there is an extenuating circumstance where you have to miss, this must be discussed with the teacher in regards to attendance. You cannot just miss. All right, here are the office hours. Attendance, like I said, is really important. You're going to be marked present, and through a participation and everything else. The course is designed to be interactive and student-centered. There are numerous assignments and assessments planned. Absences will jeopardize a student's success. A student who fails to submit an assignment by the due date will not receive credit, and you'll probably be marked absent. Make sure you read this. Make sure you read about academic honesty. It's going to be important. This is talking about technical difficulties. You want to contact the helpdesk.cjusd.net or let me know. You can look at all this stuff. I don't really care. Here's the verification letter. This is due at 11:59 on Wednesday. I do not care if you take a picture of it. I don't care if you print it. I don't care if you use Cami to annotate it. I don't care what you do if you write it out again. This is due. Make sure that you give this to me. 11:59 is the deadline on Wednesday. All right, the rest of the syllabus you can read on your own, but I just wanted to cover the most important things. Does anybody want to ask me about the syllabus? All right, last week I talked about the order of operations and I gave you a problem on the board. And I was saying basically that students can say the order of operations, but they actually don't know how to do it correctly. And that means you're going to be getting all the wrong answers. So this should have been covered in 4th grade. But for some reason, teachers aren't looking closely enough at the work and students still can't do it. All right, so here we go. I assigned the first assignment. It's called Review 1 in Google Classroom. It's due on Wednesday at 11:59. It's just a review. You must do it like I showed you with the assignments. Remember, name, date, period, assignment number. Remember, you have to write the original problem and work vertically and circle your answer. This is how you do all assignments. So don't ask me, oh, do we need to do what? Yes, you do them all the same way. For assignment, you would just put Review 1, whatever the name is. Like I said, let's go into Google Classroom. Let me show you. I'm going to show you everything I put in there. All right, check this out. I don't know what yours looks like, but it looks something similar to mine. If you go down here to assignments, it's Review 1. And I'm just going to edit mine so you can see it. Okay, this is what mine looks like. Okay, this right here is the order of operations, the little puzzle. This is the rules for integer, which I put on this sheet. And see this document right here? This is the assignment percentage. So this is the document I'm talking about. So you would put your percentage in here, like 23 out of 54, and whatever the percentage is. This is what you're going to submit to me. Do not submit this stuff. Okay, you're going to ask me questions and we're going to go over this and look at the answers, but you're not going to submit that in Google Classroom. You're submitting this, the assignment percentage. See what I wrote here? I said, put your assignment percentage on the form below and return. All right, let's go to these assignments or these papers. Last week, if you were not here, I went over specifically how to do assignments. And I also talked about how to do the notebook. If you were not here, make sure you read those things in my YouTube lesson from last week. Okay, now, I don't know how many of you started this, but what we're going to do is I'm going to probably put you, I made some groups up and I'm going to teach you, I'm going to train you how to work together. But before we get started, does anybody want to ask me, does anybody want me to do any of these problems? So did anybody look at this and want me to do one of these? No? No? All right. Okay, just a reminder, those assignment percentages are what I'm recording on Zangle. So you want to pay attention to Zangle. I'm not giving grades, cumulative grades in Classroom. So those percentages are being uploaded to Zangle. Okay, one other thing that I put in Classroom is a resource for you if you wanted. It's a video that shows how to submit a photo to Google Classroom from your phone. You will not need this for assignments, but you will need to submit scratch paper for online exams. So when you take an online exam to show me that you actually did the work, you have to submit your scratch paper. And guess what? It has to be in this format. If you do not submit scratch paper, you get a 0 on the exam. So you're going to be taking online exams. I'll show you all about it. Your scratch paper must be submitted, otherwise you don't get credit for the exam. So if you want to, I left that video in the resource section if you want to know how to submit a photo to Google Classroom. Okay, now, I made up groups, and they're called Math Wizard teams. And so in a minute, what you're going to do is you're going to go to Google Classroom. You're going to click on Math Wizard teams. You're going to find your name and you're going to join a group of 4. Now, I've talked to students extensively about group work and students hate it. And the reason why they hate group work is because one person always does the work. And the reason for that is because students don't know how to work in groups appropriately. So I'm going to train you. This is hard because we're not together, but I'm going to train you how to work in groups, okay? Now, my whole thing is that 2 heads are better than 1. So here's what we're not going to do. You're not going to join a group of 4 and work individually. Okay, that doesn't work, okay? Why would you be sitting in a group and working individually? Okay, so here's what you're going to do. When you go to your groups, you're going to all get out a sheet of paper and somebody's going to just kind of, who's ever a leader, somebody has to talk and say, okay, let's get out a sheet of paper. Okay, let's put our name, date, period, assignment number on the paper. All right, let's do problem number 1, write it down. And then what's going to happen is somebody reads the problem and you work through the steps together out loud like a choir. So it's kind of weird at first, but if you came into one of my classes, you would think, is this chorus? This is weird. Everybody's talking. And so that's what you're doing in your group is John's not going to work the problem. And then Anthony's going to work the problem separately. And Bernie's going to work the problem separately. And you're going to check your answers. No, because all 3 of you might get different answers. That's not what I want. I want you to talk through the steps together. Okay, so every step you're going to talk together. Okay, and I'm going to be in the rooms checking you out and giving you hints. But we're going to start with this. and you're going to work together on this. Now, class, it's 9:54, it's about 10 o'clock, and class ends at 10:45. So you should be able to finish most of this. If you finish this, this is the other part of the assignment. Rules for integers. So these two go together in one packet. So you would, if you printed out the sheets, you could include the sheets, but this is one assignment. You would fold it, put your name, date, period, assignment on that. So I'm giving you a lot of time to work in groups. So you should be able to do this. If you have any questions, listen to what you're going to do. You're going to send me a remind. Okay? And all you're going to put is group 1 or group 2 or group 3 or group 4. And I'm going to make sure I come into the meeting. See, I can't be in all the meetings at once. So on the Remind app, just send me the group number and I'll come into the meeting if you need me to work a problem or if you have a question. Sound good? Okay, you guys know what to do. Now remember, you are to work together. You're not working separately. So everybody, so that means the people who are really fast, you need to slow down. The people who are slow, you need to speed up. But here's the deal. A lot of people play on teams, basketball, softball, volleyball, but nobody knows how to work together as a team. That's why a lot of teams aren't successful. So you have to work together if you want to be successful. And so think of it this way. If somebody knows something, share what you know. If somebody doesn't know something, ask. Remember that that's why we're in class, so we can learn. We want to work together. We want to share what we know and ask what we don't know. Okay? All right. So,
Ms. Birch, I have a question.
Go ahead.
So since we have to, we write it in the back of our paper, are we allowed to use scratch paper on the back too? Since we're only allowed to work from one side to one side, can I use the back as well?
Yeah, you're gonna use as many papers as you want, and you're gonna show any scratch paper you're doing off to the side. Like let's say you're trying to add numbers or something, you can just do it off to the side. But this is going to be page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, and then if you need 10 more sheets, you get 10 more sheets.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we're allowed to use the back.
Yeah. You can use the back, and then you can get additional sheets, but you're going to need additional sheets. These are one-step problems. And here's what you don't want to do, class. You don't want to number your paper 1, 2, 3 because these are 4- and 5-step problems. These problems require steps. So you can't just number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to do one at a time, and you're going to work one at a time in your groups. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. You're going to go to Google Classrooms, and you're going to find Math Wizard Teams. Find your name and join that Google Meet. You got it? Okay, so go to Google Classroom. Find your name, join that Google Meet, and I'll see you. All right? So I probably won't come, we're going to be working in groups the rest of the period. If you guys have any questions, ask me in your groups. Remember to send me a remind, and I will make sure I join your group. All right? Don't forget the deadlines. Listen, don't forget the deadlines. The verification letter, Wednesday night. Don't forget this assignment is due on Wednesday night. And listen up, do not forget to go to the high school to get your online access codes and calculator. If you do not do that tomorrow or the next day from, 7 to 9, have your neighbor take you, have your friend take you, have your grandmother take you, or walk to school. You must have those access codes or you will not be able to take exams. Okay, make sure you do that. Okay, I'll see you in the groups. Okay, I'll see you in the group. That's the lesson for today. We're spending the rest of the time working in groups. All right.